Let's talk about Ryoma and Sukuna and the real reason why he ate his twin brother, because I've seen a lot of misconceptions going on about this particular topic, and a lot of people saying that he ate his twin because he wanted to be more powerful, doing something similar to what Maki and Mai did, which is actually very, very wrong. The reason has nothing to do with that, and it really messes up at the time of understanding the character and understanding his last conversation with Yuji. In chapter 257, it is revealed to us that Sukuna had a twin brother that was never born, and the reason is also revealed in that chapter. It turns out that at some point during her pregnancy, Sukuna's mom was starving, and as a consequence, her babies were starving as well. So even before they were born, they were presented with these two options: either absorb one another or die. It was pure survival instinct kicking in out of a situation that they genuinely couldn't control. Bad luck. At the end, Sukuna ended up being the strongest twin that ate or absorbed the other. It had nothing to do with greed, it had nothing to do with power, it was simply wanting to live. A twin absorbing another twin is something that actually happens in nature. You should look it up. And at the end of the day, this also shaped Sukuna'S philosophy of might makes right, or the strongest gets to decide what happens to the weak. And this philosophy was so engraved in him that he kept following it until the very end. Now, by saying this, I don't mean that Sukuna is not evil. He obviously is, but this particular decision was not driven by that, and that's very important. And that's because Sukuna was not born evil. That's why Yuji said this to him at the end of their battle. Who you turn out to be depends entirely on luck. Something that Sukuna clearly didn't have if he was starving even before he was born. This particular event is probably the reason why he became a glutton later on. The reason why his favorite thing in the world is food. His entire greed, his entire hunger for knowledge, because it's for knowledge, not for power. How many times did you hear Sukuna saying, "Oh, I want to be stronger. I want to be the strongest." He doesn't even refer to himself as the strongest ever. He's very curious. He wants to learn more about jujutsu as much as he can, because the other thing that he loves the most other than food is jujutsu. He wanted a good battle. That's the reason why he came back. Not to get more power, no. Just because he wanted a good battle. And this is where it comes from the fact that before being born, he was lacking the bare minimum. It's literally the event that shaped Sukuna into what he was going to become. At the same time, this entire thing plays into the ironies that Geikakutami loves to add to the characters in the entire story. Sukuna was the strongest twin that ate Wasuke, who was the weakest twin, and that weakest twin was the one that ended up raising Yuji, who was the one that ended up defeating Sukuna. At the end, the weakest twin won. There's just a lot of misconceptions when it comes to Sukuna. People really want to see him as this villain that was just evil for the sake of being evil, when that is not true at all. And again, by recognizing all this, we don't mean that he's not evil. At the end of the day, he is responsible of his own actions, which is something that he recognizes, but it gives everything a meaning and a reason. Understanding a character does not mean that you're justifying what they did.